Welcome back to the Ambition Over Fear portal, platform, educational services, whatever you want to call it. You know, we're here joined by love. We're here joined by the same mission, which is expansion. We're always having this inclination as empathic healers to propel beyond any limitation we're encountering, because deep down inside we truly feel as if we're here to heal and to uplift the collective. And it goes beyond just that inclination. You have reincarnated as an empath so you can have a higher sensitivity of the energy in yourself and around you, to truly give you a deeper understanding of life, a deeper understanding of your mind and how your thoughts affect your emotions and how your emotions affect the energy that you draw in. As an empath, I truly want to help other empaths, such as yourself, go beyond what is limiting you so you can understand that you truly have the power to create. And given your exclusive, cool gifts that you have as an empath, it would truly be unfortunate for you to not tap into those gifts in this lifetime. So that is why I'm here, to allow you space, that space between your soul and your mind and the troubles or adversities that you may be experiencing in your human body. That space is the observer space. So when I'm doing these videos and I'm really breaking down these topics, I want you guys to place yourself in a position when you're feeling a level of rush or uncomfortability because you have yet another thing that you realize you want to work on, to give you a moment to realize that when you're observing your life and you're looking at and being entertained by the fascinating reality of how your emotions work and how energy works, even if it is from the side of you're feeling too much of somebody's energy, or you're picking up on somebody's problems and they're becoming yours, or people are taking too much from you. There is always a positive outline in everything. There is always a perspective that we may not see because our mind sometimes has a blind side. And that perspective is there is power behind pain. Whenever you are realizing that somebody is taking a lot from you, for a moment, I want you to tell yourself, if they're taking my energy and people are consistently draining me, that must mean that I have something worth taking, that my emotions or the energy inside of me is so powerful that people think that they can actually benefit from pulling that energy in. It's all energy. So when somebody pulls in your energy, it doesn't necessarily mean they're doing it out of a malicious state. What truly happens is an energy field is a system that is self-regulating. So when you're looking at the human body and you're realizing that each one of your cells are always in a pursuit of gaining homeostasis, which is balance. Now, your cellular system will do whatever it takes. It will draw from other parts of your body and other parts of your energetic system to fulfill the homeostasis or the balance within the actual cells. And since every single thing you are seeing is a fractal representation of something else, what this means is the moment you realize a truth in one thing, in one dimension, in one part of life, that truth is equally valuable when you're examining another part of life that you're wanting questions about. So take time and realize that whenever you find a truth, or whenever you have realized certain epiphanies, apply those epiphanies to the parts of your life that you may be struggling in. So realize the power behind pain. If you're always picking up on, you know, what your subconscious mind is going through, and you're constantly aware of what thoughts are going on deep behind the layers of neurological pathways in your brain, you have the ability to tap into your subconscious mind. Not many people can do that. Now, although your ability to feel more of what's going on inside of you could make you feel like being in your body, in your system, is too much, because you're always overwhelmed by being notified when you have an emotion or a thought and you're feeling it intensely. Realize that the silver lining behind that, the silver lining behind the pain, is that you have an increased awareness of energy. And if you can just learn how to apply that sensitivity and that understanding of being able to psychically pick up on the energy of a loved one, or the energy of a location, or the energy of an animal, if you can direct that skill set, then you're moving from what I call the victim empath into the creator empath. It's a powerful thing when you can do that. So in today's video, I'm going to discuss how to let go as an empath, right? Why is it important to let go? Well, we're always in this balance of life and death. We are always in this balance of creation and destruction. And that itself, my friends, is the art of alchemy. It is the art of transmutation. When you're transmuting something, what you're doing is taking a thing and you're moving it from one form into another. You're ultimately using alchemy in the idea of you're taking one material, you're breaking it down, and then you're taking the little pieces and the components that made that thing, and now you're directing that energy to make a new thing. In order for you to build a house in a location that already has a house, you first have to destroy and dismantle the old house. And then as you're dismantling the old house, you're starting to realize that there are some materials that you have to let go of. But there are some materials, when you're letting go of a part of yourself, or you're destroying a part of yourself to make room for a new part of yourself, there are some materials that you can use to create that new part of yourself. The whole idea is alchemy. And that is truly step one, is understanding, what do you want in life? Where do you want to see yourself in 10 years from now? What parallel reality would you like to merge into? Because you know, as in your being, you understand that you are an intergalactic soul having a human experience. So with that being said, you have the power to create and manifest anything you want in life. Listen to your heart when you feel a burning desire to create or to achieve something. Because when you feel as if you want to create, you're tapping into your soul's innate ability to use its creative force to manifest matter out of magic. Magic is the verb. Magic is how the universe goes from energy that you cannot see to energy that you can see. It's how you're able to get or do energetic healing, and you're able to bring energy from one dimension, a higher dimension, and you tap into energy that is very puristic and potent, and then you bring that energy down into your body or somebody else's body, and that translates into healing that person's field, removing energetic blockages, and also healing your cells. It's so powerful once we look at it like that. So decide what you want. Realize that you cannot create or destroy energy. You can just move it around. So when you decide that you would like to manifest a certain life that has certain experiences, refresh, remember what your soul already knows, because your soul is a piece of the entire universe, and your soul has access to all information and the entire realm of universal consciousness, which is stored in the akashic records. You have access to all that. You just have to learn to let go of what is not serving you. Realize that the moment you have a thought or an emotion that is different from your current trajectory of life, your soul, in order for you to embody this new energy, if the thought and emotion is so different from your current thoughts and emotions, then your soul has to literally split your consciousness into a parallel reality you may not see, where that thought and emotion is a general outline of what is being created. Sometimes in order for you to make a massive change, you have to just start fresh somewhere else. It's very possible to be into personal development and heal and alter parts of your brain or your emotions that you feel need shifting. But when you're trying to grow very quickly and you're trying to move into a personality and a lifestyle that is very different from where you're at, then the universe really puts itself in a position where it starts to understand efficiency. And it's not efficient if you have, for example, this is just a random number, but if you have 100 energetic particles, and when you're doing personal development, you're changing 5 at a time, but now you're moving into a whole new personality and a whole new life. Instead of changing 90 of those 100 particles, your soul goes, well, we're just gonna split you off, clone you again into a different reality, and you could start fresh and fill, a majority of those 100 particles with what you would like to create. But in that moment, when you're quantum jumping into a new you, old parts of you come up. So that brings me to step 2. When you are deciding what you want in life, when you're truly realizing that you have the ability to create anything and there are no limitations, in that moment, let go of the idea that you are a limited human being and you are in a mortal body and you live and die on this planet, and there's nothing you can really do because everything is already set into place. Let go of that reality. I want to tell you, regardless if you've gone through a spiritual awakening or ascension yet, and if you have, that's beautiful. And if you need help, get my book, How to Go Through a Spiritual Awakening as an Empath. But if you are already in that awareness that you're a interdimensional soul that has had many reincarnations in different matrices within different planets, and you're aware that you have had past lives on this planet and you have been more than the person you're looking at in the mirror, you already have a sensation that what you were told growing up, how society framed reality, is not what it is. Because reality is a lot more mendable and bendable than you may think it is. And if you haven't came to that realization yet, I want to tell you, energy creates matter. The entire universe is made of 13 dimensions, and every dimension provides an electrical flow of energy to the dimension below it. It's almost as if you have a waterfall effect. 13 gives to 12, 12 gives to 11, 11 gives to 10. And when we're examining how we are able to exist here, that is the general metaphor. Now, we can always look at different questions and different ways to ask why the universe is the way it is, but when we're examining how we're able to exist here in the third dimension, when there's 13 dimensions, it trickles down and you get powered from all the layers of dimensional realms above you. And with that being said, all energy is in any dimension is a unique manifestation. You being here and you understanding that you can manifest and you harnessing the law of attraction truly reminds you that you can create, that you can manifest, that you have the ability with your mind, which is the quantum field, the field of where energy resides in, the seed energy. Purely with your imagination, you can understand that your thoughts and emotions do create things, and you can start to give your mind more power than you previously have thought it had. You can realize that if you can create on a small scale, you can create on a larger scale. You just have to shift where you're creating from. So that's the important thing, is deciding that. Now, step 2 is understanding what you need to let go of. So when you're moving into a new reincarnation, or you're creating, or you're moving into a new reality where you are experiencing an entirely new life, and that new life, that parallel reality, already exists because you have thought of it. Because consciously, the moment you think of something, it becomes a reality, because you're remembering the power you already have. So when you're moving into a new parallel reality, or you're going into a large change, be aware of what comes up to heal during that process. Be aware of the problems that occur when you're trying to change, or when you're moving into a new relationship or a new business, the emotional upsets that you may have, the disturbances in your field and in your life that occur, because those are the things you need to heal in order to fully transition into that change, in order to fully go into that new person you're wanting to become. Quantum jumping is just imagine that you have different timelines, and every timeline or a parallel reality is a different version of you. So when you're moving to a new version of you, you focus on that. You focus on what life do you want to have, what personality or ego do you have to embody to make that life happen. And then you assume that it's already done and that you're already living that life, and the energy field will respond with completion of that manifestation. But when that happens, the hooks you have in old timelines, the hooks you have in old parallel realities, or the versions of you that may be standing in the way of this new version, will come up. It will show itself. And in that moment, you have to realize what you have to heal and let go of. You have to let go of what you're healing, because you have to realize that you are no longer associating with that part of you. You no longer have to have that story, because you're healing it. Healing it is understanding how to honor how you feel about an experience, then understanding if you would like to move on from that experience, and then truly giving yourself a level of self-love, and you realizing that you can conquer that experience if it comes up again, and that you are better than what you're trying to heal. You're greater than it. And then you have to let it go. Now, step 3, how to let go as an empath. It's the idea of learning the art of disattachment. Detach when you have to, and then attach when you have to. Understand when you have to go into your higher self and into your soul, and then understand when you have to go into your lower self and in your mind and your body, which is where you feel your empathic sensitivity. Understand that when you're in your imagination and you're not thinking about the emotions or thoughts that you're having in your body, you're observing the universe through the eyes of your higher self, which is your creator self. It's your soul self. So when you're in that mode, start to learn how to use mindfulness, observe nature, observe the elements, water, earth, wind, fire. Use your mind to travel the universe by having philosophical thoughts that take you away from your body, and allow your mind to travel the realms of the galactic fields, right? Learn how to use your imagination and how to observe the universe by thinking beyond your body. That is when you're in your higher self. And then when you're in your lower self is when you're aware of what you're feeling, when you're aware of the current circumstances that are going on in your life. It is when you're aware of what you have to heal, or what you want to do today, or it's the moment you're plugged into third dimensional time, is when you're realizing that you're in this moment and you have an idea of what you want to do an hour later or tonight. That is you plugging into time. Time only exists in a linear fashion, meaning, AM to PM, past, present, future, in the third dimension. Once you go above that, time starts to be used as a method of transcribing energy and translating energy. Time is how the fifth dimension translates into the third dimension. So time in the fourth dimension is simply a buffer to slow down the energy of the fifth dimension, which is your mind and the quantum field and your imagination, so that high frequency energy can slow down so it can be inputted in the third dimension. So be aware of when you have to go to either place, and as an empath, you have to get used to honoring your emotions, honoring the energy you're feeling in yourself and others. And when you're feeling energy of other people, or the energy of a location, or when you're traveling your mind and you're feeling the energy of something else in the universe, don't attach to it, don't identify with it, observe it, and then decide whether you want to bring it into your field or not. But you have to know and have a balance between feeling your body and feeling your mind and feeling what your empathic sensitivity is doing to your body, and then going into your higher self where you have no body and you have no resonance of how you're feeling from what is happening in this world. When you're in your higher self, you get that space and you're able to observe. So understand that there is times when you have to detach from feeling as if you consistently have to heal or monitor your thoughts, or always being in a place where you're aligning with perfection, because that's what is coming to a lot of the time with spirituality, is the more we become aware, the more we try to over control things. So separate from that and then go into your higher self using your imagination and connecting with nature, and observe what you're picking up on with your empathic abilities. And when you observe rather than attach, you are now practicing non-attachment. You're detaching from feeling as if, as an empath, you are trapped in this body and you are always going to feel too much and you're always going to be drained or absorbing everything around you. That's in your body. So honor your body, be aware of what you're feeling, be aware of what you're picking up on, but then go into your higher self the minute you're aware of energy that comes in, and then decide what you do with that energy. Know when to vacillate between both worlds, and that's how you become the master magician, alchemist, and healer, and everything, is when you're able to know when to use what part of your energy system, when to go into your higher self to observe and detach, so you can understand strategically what would you like to do with the energy you were feeling when you were in your body and you were attached to your body. Okay? Now, step 4, how to let go as an empath. This has to do with forgiveness. This has to do with realizing that because you feel at an incredible manner, what this does is it gives you the sensation of going deeper into your thoughts, into your emotions. And when you go deeper into your thoughts and emotions, not only are you aware of what you're feeling, but you're feeling different layers of your mind. You're feeling your subconscious mind. You're feeling, what do you think about the situation? How should you think about the situation? What do other people think of the situation? You're examining things from all angles, because as an empath, our energy center can be outside of us. So bring that energy back in, pull your energy in, and let go of the fact that throughout your life you may have been too sensitive. And by too sensitive, I mean you were called too sensitive. Your parents or your religion or your community or your culture may have told you you're too sensitive. If you were a male, we're around this world where the idea of masculine and feminine energy is not understood. It is not about men or women. Everything has masculine and feminine energy in it. It's masculine and feminine energy are two different types of energy that work together to create something. So as a male, you might feel as if you can never express your emotions or be vulnerable because you grew up around a toxic environment where you were shamed for having emotions. As a woman, you may have been told, and this is not saying that you by certainty have gone through this, but I'm just wanting to make sure that I address everybody's concerns when I'm teaching you guys how to expand. As a woman, you may have felt like, your emotions were so powerful, so deep, but you consistently had to retract from your emotions because people were taking advantage of your emotional sincerity, and your emotions were not allowing you to progress in the world because nobody was honoring them. It's time now to say, yes, our emotions are powerful. Our sensitivity is powerful. It makes us a very unique person. Being an empath and having a high sensitivity to emotions and thoughts really means that you're very in tune with your own energetic system. You're able to read yourself and other people so well. That's an accomplishment, man, for real. It's a beautiful thing. So forgive yourself because you may have felt bad about your sensitivity because you were basing the template of what is right and wrong off of society or a culture. You are basing your idea of what is right and wrong off of somebody or something else that has told you what is right or wrong. So you now can decide what is right or wrong, and that is step 4. Do you believe being aware of your emotions and being aware of your thoughts and feeling them deeply is wrong? I hope not. I used to think so too, but I want you to feel as if it's right, because that way you can forgive yourself for the problems or trauma or heartache that your sensitivity of emotions may have caused during your life. You have to heal the trauma of associating guilt and shame to your sensitivity. I have too, man. Throughout my whole life, I was like, I feel everything all the time. It's so much. But now I feel everything all the time, and I use that sensitivity and I associate that sensitivity with traveling the universe, being able to read the universe, being able to pick up on the universe in ways other people can't. My sensitivity as an empath has allowed me to read the akashic records, which is a database of all the information that exists in truth of every dimension on every planet and every alien or god race. I'm able to be more psychic and really tap into what somebody is going through so I can guide them into a place where they're more healed. And I'm starting to realize that having a sensitivity is great. You just have to have boundaries and don't give out more energy than you're giving yourself. That hypersensitivity is what's going to allow you to tap into Reiki or quantum healing when you're understanding how to feel energy beyond the third dimension, so you could bring it into the third dimension and heal yourself and other people. Learn, let go of the idea that your sensitivity of energy is draining and shameful because it has caused you issues. You decide what is right and wrong, and you decide that your sensitivity is right. It's perfect. And your sensitivity is now a gateway into your growth. Your sensitivity is a gateway into tapping into magical, higher dimensional skills. Okay? So realize that, let go of that story. And I also want to tell you, I'm writing a book about how to go through a spiritual awakening as an empath. And every single thing I just explained about the advantages that you have as an empath and the magical abilities that you may not know you have that can help you during your spiritual awakening and ascension, and it can help you come into your starseed or godseed origins so you could heal Earth and the different realms that your soul is being called to. Let me know if you want a copy. Send me an email, Atlas Opia at ambitionoverfear.com, or just go on Facebook, look up my page, Ambition Over Fear, send me a message, or the information will be on there on how to get the book on Amazon, and join my group, the Ambition Over Fear Alchemists. It is a community of empathic warriors, empathic alchemists that are creating magic and desire on a daily basis. All right, let me know if I can help you with anything else, and I hope you guys have an amazing, beautiful week, and come back to this platform if you want more love and growth. That's what I'm here for. All right, bye.